the very moment that we learned Charlie Kirk had passed, I knew spiritually we were never going to get the full story from officials. And then when Trump rushed to tweet out an AI photo of him and Charlie with the Star of David, I knew the investigation into who murdered Charlie Kirk was officially over.
The people around Charlie Kirk were acting real suspicious after the shooting. That one person kind of walked away, another person started grabbing stuff down, and it just didn't look like Charlie's death took them by surprise.
The range from which he was shot, like the pinpoint accuracy and where you hit that person at where you know they're not gonna survive, like that sounds like somebody who was skilled. You know what I'm saying? Where he get that kind of training from?
Both of these situations, people giving their opinion, being loud about it, and then what is that doing? Giving attention, getting views, generating income, generating livelihood. Do you even believe what you're saying right now? I mean, or are we doing this as a performance?
Now let's turn our attention to other allies. President Donald Trump. Of course, we have to arrive here because Charlie really loved Donald J. Trump, okay? He loved him. It is unreal going through my messages to really consider how much he dedicated his entire life to him. And I mean, sleepless nights wanting to ensure that he got elected, reelected, midterm elections, hitting the ground, wearing a MAGA hat. We were everywhere. I was on fire for Trump too. I really believed in Trump. I really believed that if people could wake up to how quickly the media turned on him, that it could be, you know, this conduit to Black Americans understanding that we're being manipulated. Because my focus was all about Black America, right? And what I can say is that from the very moment that we learned the news that Charlie Kirk had passed, I knew spiritually that we were never going to get the full story from officials, right? Not from officials. I can't explain it. I felt that way. And then when Trump rushed to tweet out that, or social Truth Social out that photo, an AI photo of him and Charlie with the Star of David in the background, I just knew. I knew the investigation into who murdered Charlie Kirk was officially over, right? The officials wanted nothing to do with it because there was nobody more psychotically insistent that people stop asking questions about Charlie's death immediately.
It sucks too, because you listen to people like Candace Owens, like right now with her conspiracy theories and stuff, and like, I don't know, man, I'm getting more and more thinking the best thing that could happen to humanity is the internet could go down.
Yeah, as soon as we lose Wi-Fi, we're all upset, but that might be the best thing that happens to us. By the way, I haven't followed a lot of what Candace Owens has done, but I will say what I have seen. There's a difference between a possibility and evidence for a possibility. You can speculate on anything you want, but unless you have evidence, shut up. Okay? Because all you're doing is causing dissension among the brothers, which is something the Lord hates. If you want to present a possibility and say, well, this could be true, okay, it could be true, but don't accuse people for doing something for which you have no evidence.
All right, so to give a little bit more context about what that was. So Candace Owens was basically saying at one point that the people around Charlie Kirk were acting real suspicious after the shooting. You know, that one person kind of walked away, another person started grabbing stuff down, and it just didn't look like Charlie's death took them by surprise. Mm-hmm. So she basically was saying, well, Charlie was, he was, what's the word she used? She said that he was manipulated. Set up, yeah. And then she comes out and she says, you know, all these different things about the people. And then they come back and they say, well, you know, you need to shut up because you weren't there. You don't know what we were going through. You don't know how it feels.
He was there?
Huh?
He was there to do that just
Well,
for
that's all I was about to ask. Like,
yeah, he was there.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, he was there?
Yeah, he was there.
Okay.
And so they basically saying, like, we were in a state of shock. You don't necessarily know what you're going to do when you see your friend laying on the ground with a cover over their face, blood oozing out of their bodies, and other people are reacting differently. And so it's just interesting, man. Candace, this whole thing has been messy, and it's really been hard to watch because you've got, first of all, like all this kind of stuff coming out. Like if he was set up, that's awful. That's awful because now you're talking about a fall person. You're talking about all these different things. This goes on and on with where our government has always been as far as like people say Martin Luther King, we say JFK, we say all these different folks who had these one situations where somebody was being blamed, but then they say the government was behind it. So this is the fall person. So, if that was the case, Charlie died in a horrible way for horrible reasons that we are still unaware of. If it was a setup, right? And Candace is insinuating that it was a setup amongst his people. And I just think that's a long way to go.
What is her reasoning for it being a setup? Because of Israel?
Because of Israel, and because she thinks that they, had a reason for it. I don't know. It just
because I heard something was he was about to come out and say he don't want to support Israel anymore, kind of like what Tucker Carlson is doing and stuff like that. I think that's what she's speculating. I don't know. I think her Charlie Kirk's wife was saying that wasn't true, that he was always pro-Israel and stuff like that. So I don't know if that was the case of that. You know what I mean? But I will say, as a former conspiracy J person,
are you former now?
Yeah, I've been former for a couple of years. I think at the end of the day, it would lead you down a rabbit hole that you don't want to go down. Like it would literally. I didn't go that deep down, but I do think that when you are because she does journalism to a certain point where it's like she's going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until you get to either get to the truth or you get to the truth that you want to be the truth.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think for her, I feel like that's what she's doing right now. Like she stopped doing a majority of her stuff. Everything is now focused on if she get new information about the whole assassination attempt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or assassination. So I think for her, it's like, one, she's mad she got fired. She's mad at the Jewish people as a whole. So she's on some Kanye type stuff right now. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious. She's mad at Brent Shapiro and all of them for getting rid of her from what she was doing. And then now she's like going into that where it's like he was going to be like us. We're running away from the Jewish Netanyahu. He was going to be against them and all this other stuff. And we don't know that for sure. She's just speculating that. You know what I mean? So now you're getting to a point where it was a setup because of that. So, if he was there, and I'm trying to remember when I see the video, was he one of the guys that was like in a corner next to Charlie Kirk? Because they were saying it was somebody in the corner they had like a video up, and then as soon as it happened, he put the video down or something like that.
That was somebody else, but he actually was near the body.
Got you. Yeah. So I think the thing was like you can't discount people who were there. You can't, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you can't discount somebody. You know what I mean? Because I seen a video where somebody was trying to make it look like somebody who was on the side of him was like shooting him like this, like you know what I mean? And it's like, bro, you can easily see the bullet coming from that direction. So like, what are y'all talking about?
Man, a couple things, man. I feel like she's just a friend who got triggered by the loss of a friend. I think her friend died. Yeah. And we all be honest, we don't know what our government doing. We don't know who doing what and why they doing it.
You're right.
It's a lot of unanswered questions regarding a lot of different things that happen throughout history with our government. So they cover that stuff up. You won't find out unless they want you to find out. You just gotta trust God on that.
Yeah.
But with her, I just see somebody who triggered by the loss of a friend. So imagine talking to somebody the day before and then they tragically get killed this way. People respond to death differently. Some people are able to move forward. I saw a video of his wife earlier this week. She talked about how J.D. Vance really reminds me of Charlie Kirk and all that kind of stuff. And, that was kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? It was weird. It's
but why is that weird, though?
This soon to be admiring a man, noticeably blushing on TV regarding another man when your husband ain't even been in the ground 60 days.
Oh, that's
I just feel like you could have had a little more tact. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if somebody said, like, if somebody was like, yo, James, you remind me of somebody that...
Man, but like, look, like I feel like J.D. Vance is a great man. I believe he stands for similar cause that we stand for. I believe he's great. You don't have to compare him to your husband that just passed away.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why we feel the need to compare all the time. Everything don't need to be compared. Just let your husband rest in peace. Like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It just looks a certain kind of way. But it's a lot of speculation, a lot of stuff going on. You can look at some things regarding the case, how it was investigated, the crime scene after he got shot. You can look at all that stuff, and you can say, man, it do seem a little fishy. But once again,
it was quick too.
Yeah,
honestly,
you know,
like I don't even think they had like a memorial for his body. Like I remember seeing a picture where she was next to the coffin. I was like, in like a day or two, and I'm saying this based off of somebody like just losing a parent. Like it took a process for us to go from these situations.
And then I'm looking at the range from which he was shot, like the pinpoint accuracy and where you hit that person at, where you know they're not gonna survive. Like that sounds like somebody who was skilled. That don't seem like somebody who was a kid who was just picking up a rifle and just said, You know what I'm saying? Where he get that kind of training from? You see what I'm saying? So it felt like it was a hit. But once again, I don't really know. I don't have the answer, so I don't want to put nothing out there that's not true. I just see somebody who triggered by the loss of a friend, and she just relentless on trying to find answers. Yeah. And the only answer that you really gonna have right now is to put your trust in the Lord and ask God for healing, because other people are not gonna feel the way you feel, they're not gonna see things the way you see it, and what's gonna happen is they're gonna start calling you crazy and all this kind of stuff. You might not care about that, but it's just nothing good is gonna come from speculation and accusing people. I feel like what the man said at the end of the video could have been said with a little more tact. Just coming out saying just shut up.
He was not having it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was a little out of bounds. But this is what happens. When people tie their emotions in with politics and then you throw a little religion in there, it just goes all over the place and you get this kind of mixed bag of just emotions and pettiness and hate and all. It's like, it's just a mess. So I just think folks just got to sit back and just try to trust God as much as possible. But they're probably not going to do that, but that's where it really needs to happen. Yeah,
I feel like my prayer for her is that if she digs and it comes to something that she doesn't want to hear, that she be honest enough to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I think the thing is, anybody in here, if you want to dig for something that you want personally to happen, you can make something happen and make it sound like what you want it to be to happen. But if somebody comes to you and say, no, this is the truth, this would really happen, that you be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can, and I think also it does your audience a disservice. You know what I'm saying? If we're talking about something and we come into a conclusion, like each week we're talking about something, and we found out that it's really not what we say it is. I pray that we have enough integrity and character to go, hey, what we've been saying all along, we were wrong about. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because if not, then what happens is you're lying to people. Yeah. And you don't want a lot of people, because then you have millions of people watching you believing that lie.
Yeah. And you also collect your evidence before it can be debunked too, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, when my father passed away, I thought there was something going on there, and I just continued to collect evidence until I was able to like say, hey, here to the police, like this is what I think happened.
Yeah.
Because the people that don't believe your side are going to try to shut you down early.
Yeah.
And so for her, I mean, she came out like days later. Like, something's not right about this situation.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, get your evidence and come out with all your facts, and then you'll have a greater ground to stand on. Or you find out while you're doing your research that there's nothing there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not concrete enough for you to speak about it. So, yeah, there's a lot of different things that I think it's the only thing I fear of, right, is like what that guy said. He was like, man, what would it look like if the internet went down, right? I think we all would get rest finally, like peace. You know what I'm saying? Like
COVID-19?
Man, something like that, because it's like the internet is what fuels everybody all day, every day. And if she weren't there, you know, if she didn't have the internet, she probably wouldn't be, you know, on a private phone call somewhere talking about this stuff. But the internet helps fuel her ideas, and maybe people can come back with their own ideas and add to it and give me this and what do you know about that, and is there anybody out there that wants to be a whistleblower? It's like it's a lot coming from that. So it's scary to think that we have a system that would allow people to go outside of their own logic and then just continue to spew things out there just because they know it's getting them in the limelight, it's giving them clicks, it's helping them make money. Like, it's a lot of different things, and it's scary.
Yeah. I think for me, it's like, at what point does it end?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Like, a lot of what Candace Owens, or just a lot of people, like, both of these situations is people giving their opinion, being loud about it, and then what is that doing? Giving attention, getting views, generating income, generating livelihood. The question is, I honestly, like, do you even believe what you're saying right now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or are we doing this as a performance?
Yeah.
Just question, just a question.
that's right.
And then going back to something that you were saying, like, if you are presented evidence, or if you already have made up in your mind, like, yo, this right here is what happened, and you're presenting evidence, you're already studying a conspiracy theory. And so any fact that you may be presented, you are already going to have that, oh, this is a conspiracy. So what is something not a conspiracy, and what is that burden of proof? Because if I can show you blood DNA, but you also believe that DNA that it was tampered with, then it's like, oh, no, I can't believe that. No, these are the videos. Well, that's Photoshop. Well, this is the video. Okay, well, that's AI. Yeah. All right, and so at what point are we, just as a society, I think that's the issue with our society today, going back to the internet point, like, at what point is enough enough? Yeah. And at what point are we okay to be like, okay, I'm wrong, or okay, this is it, and let me adjust to what's happening in the times versus trying to make the times adjust to what I want to happen.
That's facts.
Yeah, it's a lot of noise. It's a lot of noise, and I think if we were still relying on paper leaflets and books, we would have as much noise, because it'd take us a long time to get through that noise.
But I mean, going back to what you were saying about the whole internet going down, I'd like we just go back to the 80s and 90s, like analog, like literally analog. Go get your wire joint so you can get local networks for your TV and stuff, but just analog, like basically trying to find it. But like you said, back in those days, you had to go get that paper. You had to be dedicated to what your research was, and honestly, I think that to me takes more than clips or finding stuff, because now I remember back in the day when we had to do reports. I don't know about y'all. You had to go to the library, Dewey Decimal System,
green screen,
pull it out,
Save it on a floppy
read
disk.
it, write it. You know what I'm saying? Like, write down the book number where you had to go in the library, get the book, take the book out for a week, do the research on. Like, that took time.
Yeah, footnotes.
You know what I'm saying? It's different now where you can just watch a YouTube video, then all of a sudden another YouTube video come up, then another YouTube video.
The danger is, like I said, we don't know who did what or why they did it. We don't know what she knows.
Yeah.
She could possibly know the facts for real, and everybody trying to make her look crazy because she actually telling the truth.
Real.
We
that's
don't know. So that's why I say I can't villainize or I can't support it.
Yeah.
That's real too.
At the end of the day, what you're going to do is drive yourself crazy trying to figure all this stuff out, when the fact of the matter is what's happened has happened, and the only one that can really give you true peace in the midst of this situation is going to be the Lord.
Yeah.
Like bro, you were saying, like, when's it going to end? Like, if they're going to cover something up, they have ways of making you look crazy. Yeah. If they don't, just take you out. And the they is whoever they are. You know what I'm saying? Speculation. You know, we always say they know what they're doing. Whoever the they is, they somebody. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about that off the camera. You know what I'm saying? But whoever they are, they got ways of doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it just, man, at the end of the day, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
But that's what conspiracies anyway, though.
But what's in the dark always gonna come to the light.
Yeah.
You know, so you just put your trust in God, man. It's gonna be uncovered. It's a lot of stuff we found out about things that happened years ago that we know now that we didn't know before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From stuff like Tupac. Now we know more people who are involved. We know about Keefe D, and we didn't know about all that in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So stuff gonna come to the surface.